Okay. Hello. My name is Christina. You can call me Nina if you'd like. And I've been inspired to make a video. I've actually wanted to start a YouTube channel for a while now, so here I am. So I've decided to make my first video about sort of like mental health and sort of talking about self-care. I know it's sort of like it's like a trending thing now to be mindfulness and self-care sort of like trendy, I guess, but they're sort of just important things I think you should know, especially if you are just, I think generally for everyone should have a self-care routine, I think, but especially for people that deal with mental health issues like me. I was inspired to make this video this morning because I've actually been going through a bit of a rough patch with my depression and anxiety, and I had to sort of like refocus, like, okay, what do I actually need to physically do to make myself feel better? And that's sort of what self-care is about. That's sort of like what coping with depression comes with, things that you need to do to sort of just take care of yourself. So in general, there are things that you do that to someone who doesn't suffer from mental illness, like showering and eating right and getting plenty of sleep and drinking plenty of water. Those are sort of like basic things everyone does, but sometimes for someone with a mental illness, specifically depression, it's hard to do those things. It's hard to, sometimes you sleep too much, sometimes you sleep too little, because your anxiety keeps you up at night. Sometimes you forget to get enough nourishment in your body. Sometimes you feel down, you just kind of want to eat a bunch of crap, and that's not good for you. So those are some basic things that you do to cope with your mental illness, because they're things that sort of, they stunt you. You know, you have moments where you're just sort of you feel just sort of like stagnant and like you can't do anything, and you have to kind of you have to actually tell yourself to get out of bed and to shower. That's kind of, I know it might sound weird to someone who doesn't deal with a mental illness, but those are things that we have to do. But I wanted to go through some things that I do that are sort of things that I just do in my downtime to cope with. I've kind of more for anxiety in a way. I'm not really sure. They kind of blur together sometimes, because I feel like sometimes you can't have one without the other. You know, it's kind of awkward, but I've kind of categorized the things that I do, and I'm going to share like a list with you. But I kind of put them in a category of like days where my anxiety is not that bad, I have low anxiety, and then categorized into high anxiety. Some of the things I do with low anxiety days is I make sure I watch something that makes me laugh. I feel like a lot of the times with any form of sadness or any, you know, bad mood, people always talk about having a good cry. Like sometimes you just need to let it out, release, have a good cry, but sometimes you just need a good laugh. I feel like laughing is just as important to release as crying, and it just makes you feel better, and you feel less tense, and you forget the world for a minute. And so I always make sure that if I'm feeling down, I kind of force myself to watch something funny. SNL is one thing that I like to watch. Funny YouTubers, and another thing I like to watch, which is like also funny but I find really soothing, I think because of like the nostalgic feel, is watching old sitcoms. I love like Frasier, Cheers, The Golden Girls, The Nanny, Living Single, like all those like old, like there's something so relaxing to me about watching a sitcom from like the 90s or 80s. I don't know why. I figured it out. I feel like the color schemes and like the way it looks is soothing to me for some reason when I watch them late at night. Like sometimes I like to watch stuff in black and white at nighttime, because I'm not all like, oh, the color, like it's a little more toned down, so like I sleep better, I think. I don't know. There's something soothing about like the non-HDness of a of like a show, an older show, because I'm not like, oh gosh, like there's some, like, I don't know, it's just like it's fuzzier and it's just kind of, I don't know. Another thing I like to do is sometimes when I'm feeling anxious, it's because I feel bored or I feel like uninspired. And so for me, one of the things that really gets my mind, like I like my mind working and my creative juices flowing, so I like to watch documentaries. I feel like I love to learn about new things and I love learning about people. I love documentaries that are just about like a specific person or a certain group of people that don't usually get a voice in the media, and so that's always interesting to me and I get inspired by that. And it also just, I don't know, it feeds my brain. I feel like sort of my thing is like if I feed my mind, I'm feeding my soul. And then another thing that I do when I'm sort of like in a low anxiety state is reading. I know it sounds really simple, but when I was a kid, I hated reading because my dad tried to make me read like all the time, and I would always pick books I didn't like. For some reason, I could not pick a book that I liked. I just thought, okay, any book and I'm reading, but that's not how it works. Like you actually have to read something that you're interested in. So last year I read some really good books, and I always do this thing where like I enjoy a book and I pass it on to someone. Because I'm always like, oh, okay, I finished this, oh, you gotta read this, and I give away books like as soon as I read them. So I actually went to the library recently. My current read is Dr. Sleep by Stephen King. I've never read Stephen King before, so I'm kind of hyped about it because I have recently been just obsessed with anything scary, anything in the horror genre. I just have been, I don't know, I've just always liked creepy things, but it's like a new, like I've really been into, it's like all I want to look at lately. So I'm like, this is the first time I've read something in the horror genre or something creepy, so I'm like, let me read some Stephen King because I've never read Stephen King before. I always read like dramatic novels or like books about vampires, so I get to read this instead. It's great to that's my favorite thing to do before going to bed. It's like my downtime, I get immersed in a story, I get to forget the world, and yeah, really helps me sleep. So reading's good for anxiety. My other low anxiety thing, this is kind of like in the middle. This is a lot. I feel like I have it in the low anxiety category because I feel like I'm more likely to do this thing with a lower anxiety situation as opposed to a higher anxiety situation, and that's as simple as just talking to someone. Doesn't necessarily I mean, it's good to talk about your feelings and to just to express to people what's going on with you up here, because people can't read minds unless you're from The Shining. Was he? Never mind. Okay. Anyways, but yeah, like no one can read your mind, and only you really know what's going on with you as far as your mental health. You have to be able to communicate that, and I've been really bad at that. I was bad at it, and then I got a little better at it, and now I'm bad at it again. So yeah, that's really a skill that you have to like work on, is talking about your stuff. But also just talking to anyone about anything, really, I feel like that also just helps my anxiety like that. Like I used to work at a place where there was just like lots of different, like I just worked with a lot of people. It was a restaurant essentially, and so I saw different people every day, and so I would come into work with this anxiety, like, oh my god, work's gonna be busy, oh my god, what if I mess up, like just with dread. And as soon as I like saw a friend and like we started chatting, I immediately felt better. Like I would go to work and I would go, okay, I have to talk to someone as soon as I come in the building, because it helps my anxiety and it helps me feel a lot better, I think. Okay, so my next half of my list is basically things that I do when I'm having high anxiety days. So these are the days where something might trigger my anxiety and I'm just really anxious, or I'm just overwhelmed, you know, maybe I'm just overwhelmed by everything going on. Just the days where it's like it's the worst and I feel really incapable and I'm almost like immobilized by my anxiety. this is the time where I need to do something more proactive. So like sitting down, and I usually notice it right away when I have this type of anxiety, because I will sit down to watch something to relax and I can't relax. Like I can't focus on whatever it is I'm watching. I can't focus on that show. I can't listen to that song. I can't focus on anything that I would usually enjoy. So I have to do something proactive. And so for me, one of the number one things that I've done lately is exercise. I have really enjoyed going to the gym. I joined a gym recently. Well, I mean, somewhat recently. I guess I've just been going more, so it feels like I joined recently. But just like putting on my sneakers and running out of the house and going to a gym and like burning off whatever weird energy that I have in the moment feels so good to do. It's my favorite thing to do when I feel anxious, because I can just go and do it, and I can just go be active for a while and put my headphones in and just really just focus on like my muscles and moving my body, and I don't have to think about anything else. I'm just like, I'm in control of what I'm doing in that moment. And I think that anxiety has a lot to do with control. It has a lot to do with trying to figure out what it is we can and can't control in our lives. And when we get overwhelmed by the things that we feel like are outside of our control, I think that's where anxiety kicks in. So doing something where you're in control is one of the best things you can do. Another thing I do, I also clean. This is just good to it's just good to clean and declutter and to just do your chores. But sometimes I come home from exercising, I come home from the gym and like I'm still really hyped. So like I'll like clean and I'll just like clean everything and like do laundry and like I'll keep going. Which is just like, I just feel more active, so it feels better. And it just feels, you just feel good after you clean something. You know, you declutter your room, you declutter your mind. Okay, so as far as like, say I'm not in the mood to exercise exactly, but I need to like get out of the house. Like getting yourself out of the house, I put down shopping on my list, but honestly just going out of your house and being around people, just go to the movies, go to a store. You don't even have to buy anything. Just be out of your house for a little bit, take a drive. Just step out of your house, like get yourself together, put on some clean clothes, and just go do something outside of your house. Something that I've also done when I go out is just doing something nice for someone else. So I've gotten like little gifts for my friends, and like I'll like drop them off at their house. What else have I done? Oh, I've donated stuff. So like I donate lots of clothes, especially when I'm like decluttering, you know, and I'm cleaning out my room and stuff. Then I'll like donating clothes and just doing something nice for someone else, or doing something charitable. It just feels good. It just feels really good to do that. And you go, you know what? I may not have done much today, but I helped someone in need and I donated my stuff and I gave things I didn't need away to someone less fortunate than me. And yeah, that's definitely something that I like to do. So, and it gets you out of the house and you actively go and you think about someone else for a while, and it kind of gets your brain out of, you get out of your own head for a while. You're like, okay, let me not think about me anymore. I'm gonna think about someone else and I'm gonna help someone else. Another thing I do, so this is for a day where like I'm not gonna go out. Like this, I'm at home. I'm staying home, and I've taken up knitting. Okay, I haven't, let's see, I made a teddy bear, a very small, weird, awkward looking teddy bear, but I made it, you know, and I knit sometimes. So I made this. I don't know what this is, so don't ask me. I don't know what it is, but this, and also this, I don't know what it is yet. I'm just knitting whatever. I told myself one year that I have a bunch of yarn, and I was like, I'm gonna make scarves for all my friends, and I was like, that didn't happen. It's something I haven't done lately, but doing something with your hands while watching TV or something, doing something actively with your fingers is just good for anxiety. So just doing the same repetitive thing with your hands over and over again while doing something else or watching something else, it eases you. Again, like physical activity, something I can control, feels right. So that's something I do if you want to take up knitting. I think it's cool. I don't know. I know a lot of celebrities that do it, you know, like Demi Lovato knits, I think. I saw it on Instagram, so it's cool. Another thing I do, don't judge me, this is, well, okay, wait, let me introduce one other thing. Okay, I like to write in general, like writing's always been a thing for me, but I have notebooks, and I love writing in my notebooks. I don't even keep, it's weird, I don't keep like a diary. It's not necessarily like, today I did blah, 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 blah. But I just have, I have them sitting around my room, and whenever I get the urge to like put down a thought, I'll open up a notebook and I write something down. And I write down my thoughts, my ideas, my anxieties, whatever it is I want to put, but it's a nice outlet to have. Actually, that's one of my random gifts I gave a friend. A friend who was, she was having a hard time, and I went to the store and I bought her a notebook, and I was like, here, write down your feelings. I know it's crappy, feel better, here you go. And and they're great gifts, and people, all of these are gifts, I think. Yeah, all of these are gifts. So I haven't even purchased a notebook in like a while, because people always know that I like writing. And this one's actually like my makeshift, not very well put together bullet journal. If you don't know bullet journaling, it's basically a way to just stay organized. So basically I mark down my work hours, my expenses, and I have a page counter in here because I am writing a screenplay and I'm trying to keep track of how many pages I'm writing a month. It kind of forces me to think about, oh man, I should get writing, I should work on that. So that's what I have in here. I don't know why I told you that, but I did. Another thing that I do, I am one of these people that has the adult coloring book. Okay, well, not the, I have one of these adult, what are they called? They're just one of these coloring books for grown-ups, and it's just fun to do. Look at this masterpiece. I'm proud of this. Okay, I did this, I colored this while watching the Oscars, okay, because the Oscars were making me anxious, so I needed to color. Okay, so it's just something very relaxing to do when you're just like watching TV, chilling, when you're just kind of feeling a little antsy. This is so relaxing at the end of the day to just color. I know it's kind of corny. I don't know if some people have made fun of it. I don't know if it's corny. I don't know what people think of this, but it's a trend, and like, I'm okay with it. I'm okay. And I just got these markers from Hobby Lobby. They're great. All these cute little colors. And I color sometimes. Sometimes life is stressful and hard and you gotta color. You gotta pretend you're like 4 years old again. And you gotta color. And I have no problem doing that. I have no shame. But it is relaxing when you're feeling a little anxious at the end of the day. That's fine. Some people drink, I color. Okay, I have like 2 more things on my list. One of them is taking pictures. So I actually have a little blog, a fashion blog on Instagram that I share with my friends. We collectively post on it, and we take like pictures of ourselves and outfits and food we eat and different beauty products we like and things like that. And sometimes just like finding a day to just like take some pictures of stuff that I like and like get a little creative with it is fun. I just love using my camera. So yeah, that's fun to do. Take pictures. If you got a camera, or just on your phone, like take a walk, go to a park, take a walk, take some pictures of some flowers. That's relaxing. That's good for anxiety. And the last one is cooking / baking. I used to bake a lot more. I would just follow like box instructions. I wasn't like a baker, like, oh man, I have special pies and stuff. Like, I don't have any special, like, I just followed a crappy recipe, like, whatever. but just the act of like making goodies and like feeding them to my family was nice. And I'm getting into cooking a lot more because I'm trying to be more health conscious. And I'm actually gonna make tacos tonight. Really excited. So it's like, you know, it's again like something you do with your hands, and it's something that like, I don't know, I'm discovering it. I'm experimenting with that, and I'm really like enjoying it. I feel like it kind of chills me out. I love just like chilling in the kitchen, like chopping, like just cutting stuff using a knife. I don't know what that says about me. I just like chopping like vegetables and stuff. I like cutting lettuce, and you know, it's just nice. It's nice to do. But that's what I do to sort of cope with my my mood and my mood swings, my depression, whatever you want to call it. So yeah. So if you have any other sort of interesting ideas for self-care, I like changing it up. This is not going to be like something I always do. I might find something new I like doing and take that up. So if anyone else has anything unique about their sort of self-care routine, or anything they like to do to deal with their anxiety, make a comment. Throw a comment my way if you'd like to. And yeah, hopefully this gives you maybe some ideas of how to deal with your own depression or anxiety. And just, you know, if you don't deal with those things, maybe it gives you a little bit of perspective of, you know, maybe helps you understand like your friends a little bit better, and maybe you can give them some ideas of like how to deal with things if they're having a rough day, you know, or maybe like, you know, give them a present and be like, hi, I heard you're feeling sad. Here's a donut. Okay. And that's all. So bye. And I'm actually thinking about doing some interviews with my friends. I'm not gonna like give away like what I'd be talking about with them, because I'm not really, I have just some ideas right now, but I have some people in my life that I like, and I'd like to, you know, interview them and talk to them about different things. So that's gonna happen. It's, yep. Okay, bye.